Hi everyone, it's Yulianna Avdeeva here. It's 7:30 in Central Europe and welcome to our weekly stream as every Thursday, or almost every Thursday. So tonight in this video we're continuing with the F minor Prelude and Fugue from Book I by Johann Sebastian Bach, which will be exactly the first half of the first book. And after that we will stay in F minor key and F minor tonality, and we'll have a look on a wonderful piece by Joseph Haydn, F minor variations. Hello Maria, hi Alex, I hope you're all doing well. Hi Enlice, how was your exam last week? I hope you had a good feeling during your performance. Hello Masako, nice to see you all. Hi Daniel. Yes, so the new key tonight is the F minor, and yeah, the F minor tonality is very special key somehow. It's a kind of equivocal, maybe, yeah, very, it's not quite clear. This tonality had several facets, I think, and yeah, it makes it very interesting also to not to compare, but to see also in tonight's example of the Bach's Prelude and Fugue and Haydn variations, how different this tonality can be. Hello Neta, hello David. I just would like to read what Neta is asking about. Yes, about the last the last bars of the prelude. There is a long bass. No, I do not repeat it. Of course, it's more absolutely. It's more organ style. So if you feel like, I think you can repeat it, but I'm not doing it in this piece. Hello David. Hello Marco. Hello Maria. Hi Sam. Hordi and Shinin and Topol and Francesco, Stephen, Jove, Guido, Brian, Stefano. Hi all. Hello Santiago and hello Marek. Hello Alexis. Hi Tina and Boris and Raffaello and Michael, and hi Kyoko. So, and oh, hi Wesley. Good morning to you. So the F minor ambiguous tonality. Somehow there are really, well, it is a dark key anyway. It's a very, yeah, it's somber. It's, and on one hand, it is, I feel it as a very, yeah, actually, it's a mixture of, on one hand, something very, there is something very tragical in this tonality, something very, yeah, something lamenting. I feel it, actually I think it's a key of grief for me, of yeah, of a kind of funeral lament, I would even say. But on the same time, there is some melancholy, some light in this key, as well as, of course, it's also on a heroic side. It has something very, it has a great dignity, I think, and it is really very. Yeah, probably it also, of course, is my feeling is connected with the pieces which are composed in this tonality, and of course, just thinking of Beethoven's F minor is for me, of course, the first sonata and the Egmont, which is absolutely an heroic, with a kind of pathos, with a really grand manner. It is a very, yeah, heroical key. On the other hand, I have in my head, of course, the piece like Funerai by Liszt, which is, of course, already a very, very, yeah, it's, yeah, just tragic. On the other hand, we have several pieces by Chopin in F minor. Of course, Chopin Ballade number 4, the second piano concerto, which is the first movement and the last movement are in completely different character, because the first movement is indeed more, also it has something heroical for me even, and the last movement is very gentle. It's a great, maybe melancholic dance. It's yes, but another piece which in F minor by Chopin, which is also very special to me, is the F minor Fantasy, of course. And the F minor fantasy has some for me it maybe is the piece which really has all sides of this key, because in the beginning we have this march, this very like kind of heroical march. Then we have this brilliant, a kind of melancholical, but still also very completely different the main part. And of course the F minor fantasy is indeed an absolutely wonderful piece. Mysterious, yes, it is. Of course, it is also a mysterious tonality in a way, and so there are indeed so many different facets of this key. Hi, Robert, great to see you. Yes, Maria, of course, Mettner sonata. Or also the Tchaikovsky fourth symphony, or of course Brahms third piano sonata. Those are pieces of a really grand scale. So it's a great key. However, the F minor Prelude and Fugue is also in a very special mood. It's I somehow on the weekend I went to the Pinakothek in Munich. There is a great museum, and I had the luck to see some Albrecht Dürer paintings, and somehow the F minor Prelude and also Fugue somehow reminded me on his great painting Melancholia, which is really very, somehow for me that was my association when I came home, because this picture of course is not in Munich, but this painting is not in Munich, but the Dürer's, genuinely his expression was somehow reminded. I had to think about the F minor Prelude and Fugue. Johannes, absolutely, viola sonata, yes. So we have many interesting pieces in F minor. So the Prelude here is already a unique piece. It's already extremely polyphonic, so we have already 4 voices in the Prelude. I feel it more like it also reminds me on somehow something from Passions, because it's recitativo. It's indeed in four voices. So we have this voice and the 16 notes which are somehow making this movement. But it is a very lamenting. I feel somehow a deep grief, really grief in this music. But without this is again something really special about Bach. There is no self-pity here. It's just something above above the this human feelings. It's somehow it's very humanistic. It's still with great compassion. There are beautiful places in the Prelude. For instance, this line going up, the bass is going up through 1 octave. So we have already here a kind of hope, some movement going up. Yes, and in the end there is indeed a very long bass C. That was the question before. Of course, it's not it's not possible to hear it in a very clear in the end, but still I think it's possible to repeat it. I decided not to do it now, but maybe of course, as we many times discussed, for me I need to also try things out on stage, on a big hall, on a big piano, because then I can really, let's say, judge in a better way what really somehow sounds more convincing to me. But at the moment I'm here in my room and with my piano, with these possibilities, and that's why now I'm decided not to repeat this long C. The fugue is for me an amazing piece of music. It's a really one of those giant fugues by Bach for me. It's in four parts. The subject itself is very special. It's in crotchets, so it's very heavy. So we have, this is it's like someone walking. Well, I mean, yeah, these chromatic motifs. Those seconds are very often in Bach's music. They mean it can be seen as so-called Seufzer motif, which means a sigh motif. And then this chromatic line going down is really despair, really. The quarter subject here is diatonic, moving up with a completely different movement. So it's a big contrast to the subject, and there are many interludes in this fugue. There are actually no other devices like stretto or some there are no subject inversions or something. But those interludes are for me absolutely amazing. So basically, it's sequence. Most of the sequences are falling down. Sometimes in 1 second, sometimes in third. That's why also I really think here, of course, on this. Chopin is not using sequences actually so often in his music, but in fantasy he does, and somehow for me it is, I don't know, I feel that it's there is a kind of certain connection between this prelude or this prelude and fugue and the fantasy. So I'm very happy to play this amazing set, the Prelude and Fugue in F minor by Bach from Book I. the F minor Prelude and Fugue from Book I. So now we can celebrate the first half of Book I, Well-Tempered Clavier. Unbelievable. This is somehow, yeah, the time runs so fast in a way. Yeah, just reflecting these first 12 preludes and fugues. What are the sets, which keys, which tonalities somehow remain in your memory as somehow the most, I don't know, just which impressed you most? I mean, the music, which set did somehow remain in your memory? I'm very happy that you liked the F minor. Yes, Maria, I do play Baron Reiter because I think this is Urtext, and Urtext for me is somehow the best source. Of course, it's very interesting to have a look on other editions. I have Busoni edition here. I have also some Mugellini and some other sources. It's interesting to have a look on them, but for me, Urtext is the real composer's will. That's what we have, and no interpretation already in the music score. So that's why I like Urtext also in Chopin, in actually everywhere. If the Urtext exists, that's what I mostly use. Alex, I don't know. It's so difficult to say which prelude would be my favorite, because those 12, they were all so different in the mood, so different in the texture, in everything, and somehow it's very. I couldn't pick just one, because, I mean, starting from the C major, continuing with the C minor, and then going on till the F minor, which we did now, they are all really special. They are all unique. They all, every prelude and fugue had its own character, and it's amazing just to see how creative Bach's mind was. That he didn't repeat himself, which is absolutely amazing. Yes, Yukiko, that's right. Of course, Schumann and Brahms and basically all. Well, I think there is probably no one single composer who somehow was not inspired by Bach's music. It is really, yeah. Oh, Louis, right. The D minor in the Book I is indeed, yeah, it has something. Yeah, the mood is maybe a little bit similar, but D minor is more. It's more tragic, and F minor is somehow more above. It's somehow, for me, more philosophical. So now we are going to the another phase of F minor, and I'm very, very happy that in August I will be performing live concerts in different places, including the Dushniki Zdruy Festival and the Chopin and his Europe Festival in Warsaw. So the Dushniki Zdruy Chopin Festival is for me a very special place, and the recital will take place on the August 7th, and this the recital will be also streamed on the radio, on the Polish radio classical channel Dwójka, as well as on their YouTube channel. And there in my program I have also the Haydn variations in F minor, and that's also was my wish to share my thoughts about this amazing piece, this real masterpiece with you, because yes, as Rolf and Daniel and Annelies were also mentioning, this piece somehow, the Haydn is not as popular as as no, Alex, that doesn't mean that there are no streams from my home. Well, the idea is that when I'm on road and if I have a chance to make the streams from the places I perform before the recitals, then I would definitely do that. Otherwise, we continue with the. I need to to complete book 1 and book 2. So that doesn't mean that our project will stop. It will continue, but with some well, if I have a chance then to make the streams from the places I'm going to, I think that would be my great wish. Yes, that you also have a look on where I am when I perform. So the F. Haydn variations. Of course, Haydn for me is an amazing composer. He has, of course, first not just because he composed so many pieces, which he actually did, but first of all, of course, he was a great innovator. He, thanks to him, we have the string quartet, because he was the person who started really compose a lot for this for this combination. It's also piano trio, the piano trios, the symphony, the piano sonata, the improvement or development of the piano sonata or the genre sonata itself, that was really, and he was really influencing also the great classical composers Mozart and Beethoven. Of course, they all knew each other, and there are some interesting comments by Beethoven, that Beethoven had a chance to work with him a little bit in Vienna, and Beethoven was a little bit upset that he had to write so much counterpoint and these kind of things. So Haydn was also the person who incorporated the polyphonic elements into the classical form. So not only in fugues or in canons, but he also used it for instance, in the piano sonata. In the Baroque time, the sonata had a little bit different meaning comparing to the sonata which we know from Beethoven and Mozart, and of course also Haydn. So Haydn in a way invented this, or improved the sonata form to the form which we know now. But I'm talking about the sonata, although I would like to talk about the variations. Oh, thank you very much, Alexis. Yes, I hope that I will come to Strasbourg one day, but on August 17th, I'm playing at the La Roque d'Anteron festival, which is not quite close to Strasbourg, but still in France. And of course, Antoinette, that would be great. That one day I hope that I will make it to Holland soon. So another genre which Haydn also developed is the so-called double variations, and the F minor variations is indeed a double variation. What does it mean? The variations which we were looking at in the past, that was the C minor Beethoven variations as well as Eroica variations. They were normal type variations, so one theme which was transformed to a completely different theme, right? The double variation is something different. It's based on two themes, contrasting themes. Mostly it's minor, major, and this is actually the form which also Beethoven used a lot in his symphonies. For instance, the famous slow movement from the 7th Symphony is a double variation, or also in the 5th Symphony, it's also double variation form. And it is actually this Haydn F minor variations. They were actually originally thought as a first movement of his piano sonata. So there are two parts in the autograph. Where one is actually, well, the the original title of the piece is actually Un piccolo divertimento. And divertimento, actually amusement, was actually a common term for a kind of sonata in a transition time between the Baroque and classical sonata. So it is actually an amazing piece of music and Haydn, with this expression which he managed to achieve here, it is absolutely unique in my opinion. I will perform both themes now so that you can maybe imagine, and I would be very curious to learn from you how you feel, how you would describe those emotions in those both themes. So in F minor and then in F major. These are the major, minor, and major themes of the F minor variations. For me, I don't know. It feels like, well, it is the F minor theme is a very serious, very melancholic, very with a certain tragic in it. And I think for me personally, it happens because there is, as very often in Haydn's works, he mostly uses small motifs which he transforms, which he develops. So here the melody is quite simple. So, but this dotted rhythm gives us the feeling of he's insisting on something. There is a kind of inner conflict which is very strong. And the left hand, this is already very polyphonic. It sounds quite simple accompaniment, but it's not, because we have the bass line and we have this element also again like kind of begging, and the articulation here is a little bit difficult. So he is insisting. That even if it looks like the sun would come out, it's still certain danger there. The second half starts more with light, but still. Somebody shows some anger. I feel really some anger there, but not like a, like explode, but inner tension, great tension. And here this begging for, please be quiet. No. And then this dialogue interrupts with the Neapolitan chord with this. This is an absolutely amazing explosion. This is something absolutely extraordinary also for Haydn. This is a sign of greatest despair. And after that, it just. It moves away, but it's not solved. And then suddenly. Maybe it's like a cold or after a cold weather having some warm water, after cold water coming to a warm water, or maybe moonlight, sunlight, because or light and shadow, something like this. Daniel, very interesting idea about the character of both things. Major is feminine, very positive, humorous. Well, it's very interesting suggestion about seeing the F minor more, like a masculine character, and female more. Somehow more gentle, more tender. It can be seen in a very different ways. Operatic, Jakob, yes, I can imagine that it could be also a kind of opera scene. So it's very some kind of theatralic thing. But for me, I take this music really very, very serious, because also knowing that Haydn that was composing, most of his life was composing for court, which means that the most of the from what I know, he was a very friendly, very also a person with a great sense of humor, but nevertheless, and also very positive person, but nevertheless, most of music he composed was positive, for also to please people, right? So this is also already something extraordinary, and there are some ideas or suggestions that maybe this was his musical response to the death of a sudden death of a great friend of him. But it is of course not really clear what was the reason for this very serious, very deep and dramatic piece. But what I think for me the contrast is as well, of course, in this ornamentation, because the major theme is full of those ornaments. And this is really indeed a great contrast to the minor theme. The first variation, the minor variation, is everything is getting more intense somehow, because we have here this. both first variations are already with a different movement, also because of course the general tension is already completely different. Of course here it's like someone seeking for air, wanting to breathe, and yeah, because of the being nervous or desperate. That's how I feel it, and Haydn does it so masterful, because the left hand remains absolutely same like in the theme, but this. This is really very, very moving for me. The major part is actually more ornamentation, more flourish in a way. So really still in a big contrast to the minor section. The next variation is everything is accelerating. The next variation has these demisemic waters, and so we have a completely new. So probably this variation is, this set comes closer to each other also because of this note value, which is demisemic water, and this first, the minor section, because of, reminds already on the ornamentation of the major part, but of course this giant explosion of texture is absolutely grandiose. It's very, very huge, and now we're coming to absolute amazing, the most amazing part of this piece is the coda. So the original, the first part of the autograph finishes where I just finished, and actually the first Haydn apparently composed just five bars, just finishing the movement, as he was thinking that would be the first movement of a piano sonata, and then he composed a huge coda, which is in its expression absolutely, I don't know actually so many pieces of music where the expression is so deep, so honest, and so moving in a way. So yeah, that's what happens in the coda. It starts with the repetition of the first theme in minor, and then what happens then? Let's see. This is an absolute and great outbreak, emotional earthquake in a way, and this is composed with such a master, with such a passion, such a great grand, grand scale somehow. Of course, this is again this interruption, because we expect actually here. Of course, we expect again the normal dominant chord we know from the theme, but no, he keeps this Neapolitan G flat major and continues with this chromatic. This is such a D7, and again, and of course this is the most. This is so, I don't know. It makes me so happy. I don't know, just to know that this kind of music exists, and this is cadenza like. This is really absolutely, well, a great masterpiece. And in the end, still, do you think that the positive mood wins the battle between the major and the minor? I don't know. Somehow for me it feels like if someone would be accepting something without having a peace with it. So that's why this major in the end is, well, I don't know. I feel there is so much, so much anger, and the fire actually probably is the right, the burning fire in this piece, and this I'm so happy that I will play it again very soon, and of course I will share with you the timing and when it will be streamed, because of course I'm very happy also to play it on a concert piano in a bigger place, and I'm sure that we will come determination. Well, maybe. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's it's not so obvious what happens in the end, I think. But anyway, it's a really deepest feeling, deepest emotion which a human being can feel, I think. So I'm sure that we will come back to Haydn with some other piano sonatas, because they're all, many of them are really, really absolutely brilliant, extraordinary pieces. Yes, Jakub, these variations are there. It's just a magic box, I would say. There are so many surprises in it, and they are all really very valuable for me. So thank you so much for being here tonight. I wish you all a good week. Please stay well, keep safe, and I'm very much looking forward to see you again next Thursday. Thank you so much, and keep well. Bye-bye.